Hi there, I'm Katie Godbeer and welcome to another episode of In the Studio. Today I'm going to be joined by Becky James, who's going to show us a Valentine's project with a hidden surprise. Hi Becky, welcome along.
Katie.
Now you've got a beautiful, beautiful Valentine's project here that you've created with the Victorian Valentine's
That's all right, yes.
collection. But I think there's a little hidden surprise, isn't there?
There is
Do you want to reveal it?
I will do. If we just pull this ribbon bow and open that up, it actually reveals a little decorated pocket, which is from the Ultimate Decoupage pack. And if we open that up, I've put a little greeting in there, but you could put theatre tickets or a gift card or something like that. So this is your present and your card all in one. So first of all, what I did start off with was I wanted to add a little bit more luxury to this paper, which is kind of like a damask.
Beautiful.
So first of all, I just want to show you how I did that, and then we'll move on to the kind of how the base was put together. Okay. But I took a piece of this pink damask, and I got my little portable spritzing box.
Lovely.
And I popped my paper in there, and then just give these a good spritz, a good shake, and then you'll end up, if you look, you'll see that all the pigment has sort of removed from the bottom.
Oh yeah,
of
because it collects, doesn't it, when it's been standing.
And then I'm just going to give that a spritz. But then what I'm going to do as well, this is quite random, but you might end up seeing some sort of bigger splodges. So what you do is you just take out the mister, and you start to flick it like this.
Oh, wow.
And I'll pick this up so that you can actually see it a bit better. But you'll end up with all these beautiful splodges as well. And it's a really lovely technique as well for backgrounds, for scrapbook pages and things like that. So if I just explain what I've done here, I've already made the background, and we'll put the details of that into the write-up.
And you can find all those at docrafts.com, along with a list of all the products that Becky's used as well.
That's it, absolutely. But what I've done is I've actually taken one of the pattern papers and I've put that behind my main paper with the pink. And this is a really good little tip. If you've got some papers that possibly you don't like, sometimes you get a pack of papers that you don't really like, or you get a sheet in a pack of paper that you don't really like. Great way to use it is round as something to mat on, because you get added detail other than just a
and you
colour.
know it's going to be perfectly coordinated, don't you? Yeah.
Exactly. So what I've done though, just because I absolutely love the paper, but what I wanted to do was to add some detail around the outside. That's what I've done. I've used one of the patterned ones. Then what I've done is I've taken and punched with one of my favourite X-cut border punches, which is the leafy lace.
Yes.
I added a bit of detail there, which feeds through into this whole sort of Victorian feel. They were always very detailed and
definitely.
Lots and lots of sort of little intricate bits, and a border. And these borders I use, they are the little border strips that come in the Ultimate Decoupage pack.
Yes.
They are brilliant. I use those all the time. So we've layered that up. Now the next thing that I'm going to do though is I'm actually cut a piece of card which is just slightly smaller than that. Okay. And we're going to put that on the back. And the reason for that is that I'm going to be tying ribbon round, and so I need this to have some strength to it.
Okay, otherwise it's going to bend, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it, absolutely. So, just very quickly. So, there we go. So that's nice and strong now. So, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put together the little envelope. Now, again, these are die cut in the Ultimate Decoupage pack, and there's some little envelopes and these little pockets. And these are really easy to make. You just fold where it's scored, and the two tabs that you use to stick are this one on the side and this one on the bottom. Okay. So just very quickly, now I'm using some glue runner, but it's entirely up to you. You can use PVA glue if you want to. Now what I tend to do first is to pop this little one here down, and I give it a good little run along there to make sure it's all stuck, and then you just fold that one in and do exactly the same. Now then, I want to make this a little bit special so that it sticks down and it can be opened up. So what I've done is I've literally just got some hook and loop.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pop that on there. on the end there. Oh, should we make sure that's the right way around? It does help, don't we? And I always put both sides on one and then push it down, and that makes sure it's in the same place. Now, I've actually taken one of these. The imagery in these are beautiful. Yeah. So I've taken one of these lovely little images.
They're so detailed, aren't they?
Yeah, and what I would say about it is, even though the range is called Victorian Valentine, it's very love themed.
Yes.
So much of it can be used for weddings, for anniversaries, engagements, any sort of love themed occasion. Perfect. Really. And all I'm going to do is pop that in there. That's my little greeting for this card. And we're just going to seal that up. And I've just got one of the little, this is just what I was saying. There's so many lovely little embellishments you can use. So a little blob of glue on the back there. And we're just going to tuck that on there.
Lovely. Right,
now then, we're going to attach this to the card.
Okay.
Now, when you put this on here, we're going to have it so it hinges that way.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, now I've picked the Madame Peyraud pattern craft tape because this range of pattern craft tape goes with anything that's vintage. So all I do, I'm just running my pattern craft tape down the bottom.
So it's like hanging off the edge,
exactly.
Isn't it? There you go.
But if I look on the other side, you can see it's partly on the edge. And all we're going to do, neatly, I mean, I know pattern craft tape can be ripped and that sort of thing, but I do this neatly because you want a nice finish. Okay. And we'll just fold that over like that. And all we do, if we put the sticky side on, folded down backwards, and decide where we want to wrap that, whether we want to put that, and we can pop that in place.
So it's completely invisible hinge, isn't it?
Yeah, completely invisible hinge. But a really nice way to include these into your project.
Beautiful.
So I'm just going to add a little sentiment. This one says "Be mine" on the bottom of here, so that when they open it up, they actually get a nice little greeting inside as well. Right, so the next thing that we want to do is we're going to add our closure, which is the ribbon.
Okay.
And I've got 2 pieces of ribbon here. This is Anita's Everyday ribbon. Okay. I've got the pink organza and the white glitter ribbon. And what I've tried to do is I've cut a long length. You may not cut so long, but it makes it easier when you're actually tying the ribbon a little bit later on. But I'm going to secure it at the back with a bit of glue. Okay. And then I'm actually going to secure it on the front with an embellishment on the front of the pocket. Okay. So that's how we're going to make sure this all sticks. Now, when you're doing this, you need to think about it because you don't want things to stick and then you not be able to open them. So that's why we're doing things the way we are. This way, you'll make sure that things don't end up all stuck together and things can't be opened. So a little blob of glue here. And I'm just going to pop my ribbon into that. If I pull that round, that should give me plenty of room to tie a bow with that. So we'll just pop that there. Now I've chosen a few little sweet embellishments, and again they're all in the pack. So I've got a lovely little image here.
Little cherubs delivering little love notes there.
That's it, absolutely. And I've just put some 3D foam on this, and it's actually the foam that will help to hold this in place. So what we're going to do now is just tie our bow here.
Lovely.
And that will allow us to open everything up. So now, tying a bow with a couple of ribbons is a little bit more fiddly, but it's not difficult. So you just need to sort of pull and then adjust it a little bit so it's where you want it to be.
Beautiful.
And what I would just say is, if it doesn't go right first time, just
have another go.
Have another go, absolutely. You're not sticking the ribbon down or anything like that. So I've got here, this is a lovely little dove, and this is, as I was saying earlier, from one of the decoupage images. Okay. So I'm just taking that element out of it.
Yeah, you sort of pull a layer out, and you'll never miss it in the actual decoupage.
No, and this is one of the things I love about our decoupage. There are so many layers. You can actually get so many cards out of one decoupage. I'm just going to add that into the corner there.
Oh, that's
so
lovely.
You can just see.
That looks beautiful.
There. And I've got a final little embellishment to add. And then we're going to add one little thing that when I was putting this card together, I thought, I've got to get this into I always love that sort of phrase about having the key to your heart or something like that. But in this new die set that we've got,
this is a great one, isn't it?
It is. There's so many love images.
Love icons.
Yes, and there's so many things. You've got your Cupid in there, there's banners, I mean, so many hearts in there. You could make the most beautiful border. What this actually does is it cuts the outline, but of course you've got all the hearts inside.
Oh yeah, you can see here, can't you? But there's loads in here actually for every day, isn't it? You've got a little envelope.
Absolutely.
You've got this little banner. I can see me using that one.
Yeah.
Loads.
And suggested serving suggestion on the bottom. That is, you know, how it's very fashionable, is the tattoo sort of style hearts and things like that. But the one that I wanted was this padlock.
Oh, that's
I think that's lovely. It's very delicate. I'll pop that on there. Thank you. And it's very delicate, and I've embossed and sanded it.
So you'd have die cut that first?
Yeah.
And then what have you done with it then?
I emboss it with our Delicate Flourishes embossing folder, and then sanded it just with an emery board.
Okay.
And that takes off all that glary gold. And all I'm going to do, now you do need to think about this when you're sticking it. I want it to look like it's associated with the bow, but I don't want it to stick over the edge, because if the glue gets there, it's going to stop us being able to open it. So having done that now, we're pretty much almost there. I've actually taken a craft card because it works very nicely, and we'll stick that on there, but the final finishing touches are just a few little pearl gems. Now, because I've got ribbon and everything under there, when I'm sticking it to my card, what I will use is some 3D foam tape, because that can allow for the extra little bit of bulk there. But there we go.
There's our card.
That's how you make it.
We've got one here to show you again the inside. Wonderful. Well, that's just beautiful. I'm sure anyone would be very happy to receive that. What a lovely, lovely card. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you love Becky's Victorian Valentine's card as much as me, why not get inspired to create your own Valentine's projects? You can upload your makes to docrafts.com so the rest of the community can come along and take a look. You can also find more inspiration on our Facebook page and in, of course, Docrafts Creativity magazine. We'd love to hear what you think of our videos. Why not leave us a comment below? Until next time, happy crafting.